Hey everyone, I'm the garden lady. You want to know what a favorite fruit of composting worms is? You guessed it. I have a lot of leaves, and I'm going to collect them and feed my worms. Let me show you how many leaves I have. I have all of this, plus all of this. And you think that's a lot? Wait for it. Look at the property. Look at all the leaves. Look at all that. And my garden. Leaves are a favorite food of composting worms. They just are. So what I'm going to do is I take these small bags and I have a lot of dry leaves. I just bag them up. Sometimes I put them in a big black garbage bag. But for storage purposes, for me, this is just so much easier. And you see, you got to get them when they're crunchy. Now when I have them in here, I go like this. I squeeze them and crunch them. It not only creates more room in the bag for me, it'll kill any little pests that might be on the leaves. One year, I did this. And I put them in my worm bin. And I would say about 3 weeks later, I had baby snails everywhere. It was the cute little ones with the little shells on their back. They were adorable. But they were hundreds in my worm bin. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyway, I tried DE, which is diatomaceous earth, the food grade kind. Won't hurt your worms. I tried squishing them. I mean, it was a losing battle. So I had to dump the worms and the bin and everything into my garden, which, you know, is okay. I mean, they all go back into the earth. And I had to start from scratch. So since that happened, I've been taking the leaves and just smashing them. And hopefully if there's any eggs in here, that'll take care of that problem. As far as feeding them, sometimes I put them dry like this. They take a little longer to break down. Plus the moisture in the bin will wet the leaves anyway. Or sometimes I soak the leaves, drain the water first, and then put them in. I notice when I do that, my Euros especially, they eat them up really fast and they love them. These are my doggies. They love leaves. Carry them in the house constantly. So anyway, I'm getting ready for the winter. Now, a few of these bags should last me a few months into the winter. I don't collect leaves in the winter, even though I have a million of them, and there's no way I could possibly rake that up because I noticed that they start getting damp and soft, and I don't want to deal with the mess, honestly. So right now is the best time of year to collect the leaves for the worms. So let me show you the leaves down here. As you can see, they are everywhere. There's no way I could possibly rake these leaves. It's just impossible. Plus, I don't know about you all who have all the leaves. I love walking and listening to the crunching sound of them. Don't mind my dogs. They like running around in the leaves. So let's go take a walk to the garden and see what's happening there. As you can see, the garden is covered in leaves. And this is great because it creates a nice ground cover. Besides the straw that we put down, it'll just keep it nice and tidy and cozy for the winter. Ooh, looks like I missed an onion. Let's pick it and see what we find. Another onion. Sometimes when you miss them, they pop up like this, and then you find them later. Let's take a look over here. Look at all the leaves. Something keeps making these circles in my garden. I think it might be rabbits trying to nest. At least I hope it's rabbits and not something else. Anyway, give leaves a chance if you have them. A lot of people view them as the enemy. They're not the enemy. Give them a chance. Give them a chance. They're not the enemy. They'll provide food for your worms, food for your compost. You know, it'll help break down the compost. It creates a nice ground cover. So give them a chance. You'd be surprised what you can do with leaves. A lot of leaves. Anyway. Look at all the leaves in the forest. It looks so different, right, than the summer. I like the orange leaves. So I notice when I feed leaves to my worms, they don't have a particular taste for any specific leaf. Urals really love them. And the little red wigglies, they love them too. But I just wanted you to look at the forest and see the amount of leaves we have. It is breathtakingly beautiful. So take care, guys. There's a poem I heard someone say about leaves. It goes, leaves, leaves, they're good for your worms. The more they eat, the more they squirm. Anyway, happy leaf hunting. I'm going to show you how I get rid of flies in my garden. I live, you know, near the woods, and in this area there's a lot of cow pastures and horse pastures, and you know, when you have cow poop and horse poop, there's a lot of flies in the area. They just gross me out, and I see them in my garden all the time, but I'm going to show you a quick way that I get rid of them. Okay, first you need a cheap water bottle, and you're going to do a cross hole in it like this, and you're going to push it in a little bit, but not too much, because you want them to be able to go in, but they can't come back out. So I'm going to take the lid off, and I'm going to take an egg. I'm going to shake it, kind of like to scramble it a little bit. So this is how I do it. I put this in here, and I crack the egg. I feel like I'm cooking out here. I just pour the egg in the water bottle. So the eggshell I'll just throw in my compost. If I were indoors and I wanted to give the eggshells to my worms, I would have to microwave them, because you want to kill any, you know, bacteria, salmonella, anything like that. But anyway, see? Doing it with a funnel is just so much easier than trying to pour the egg through this little hole. Trust me, it'll be a mess and a half. So I pop the lid on, and see the hole is there, and I just give it a shake. And I'm going to leave it in my garden. And I'm going to show you in a few days what this looks like. I know it's fall and there aren't a lot of flies out here, but there still are some. But come spring, when, you know, everything starts warming up, it is horrible, the flies that are around here. So give this a try. I mean, it's cheap, it's economical. Everyone has eggs. They do sell fly kits that do the same thing, but for those you have to empty them out and then reuse them. And emptying them out is what, I cannot do it. This, I just pick it up and I put it in a bag and I just throw it out, and it's less gross. So I'll show you what this is going to be like in a few days. In there, and you add a little bit of water, about that much. Shake it and leave it. Check on our bottle. See how many flies we caught. Let me see. Ew, look at them all down there. Oh, look, you can see a few on the surface. See the black things? This is a good trick. And now, even though I caught that many, there aren't that many in there. In the summer, oh my gosh, you should see how full this is. So why don't you try it? It's a cheap, economical way to catch flies, which are absolutely disgusting. Anyway, subscribe, and have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.